Panchatantra, the stories of Mitra Bedha. The story of the booming voice, Damanaka's wisdom and Pingalaka's dilemma. Damanaka bowed to his elder brother and went to meet the lion, the king Pingalaka. As Damanaka approached Pingalaka's palace, he was greeted by the chamberlain who was about to bar his path. But Pingalaka, recognizing Damanaka as his old counselor's son, welcomed him in with open arms. "This is Damanaka, my old counselor's son. He has free entrance. Let him come in," Pingalaka said. Once inside, Damanaka bowed to Pingalaka and took a seat. Pingalaka asked, "How is your health? Why have you not seen me so long? What made you come now?" Damanaka replied, "Though my master has not sent for me, I thought it my duty to come. Even a humble person like me can be of service. Even a straw will serve a king to clean a tooth or scratch an ear. Then how much more a counselor like me? We are hereditary servants of your majesty and are bound to follow you in good days and bad. Ordinary servants leave their kings, who ignore their good qualities and do not honor them, and go to other masters. But that applies only to the baser kind of servantry and not to people like us with ideals. We hold that even though a gem is not set in a golden frame by its master, but put into a brass frame, it should not leave its master or roll out of the frame, but should cling on, though its not being put into a golden frame will reflect discredit on the master." Damanaka went on to explain that he had not visited Pingalaka in such a long time because he had not been summoned or appointed as a counselor. He also added that if masters do not distinguish between good servants and bad ones, the good ones lose their zeal and visit the masters seldom. In a market where there is no distinction between true gems and imitation gems, how can genuine gems be sold? Damanaka asked. Pingalaka, intrigued by Damanaka's words, asked, "What are you driving at, O Jackal?" Damanaka spoke up, "Do not despise me because I am a jackal. Silk comes from worms, gold comes from stone, fire comes from wood. It is not birth which is the standard to go by, but merit. Nor can native or foreigner be the test. A mouse, though born in your own house, ought to be mercilessly killed. A cat, though a stranger, should be fed in order to dear your house of rats. Do not scorn me, O king. I am loyal and true. I do not go by selfish profit as others do." Pingalaka, understanding Damanaka's point, reassured him, "Don't I know you? You are my old counselor's own son. Come, tell me what it is that has made you visit me today." Damanaka replied, "I have something very important to discuss with you." Pingalaka encouraged Damanaka to speak freely. Damanaka asked, "My master set out to drink water from the river. Why did he return suddenly without drinking?" Pingalaka, not wanting to reveal the truth, said, "Oh, it just happened so." But Damanaka replied, "My king, if it is not a thing to be revealed to me, then don't reveal it. Some things a man should tell only his wife, some only to his son, and some only to a friend. He should not tell everything to everyone." Pingalaka, impressed by Damanaka's wisdom and discretion, confided in him, "Did you hear that booming voice on the river bank, coming from a distance?" Damanaka replied, "Yes, master, I did. What about it?" Pingalaka then shared, "My dear fellow, I have resolved to leave this forest." Damanaka asked, "Why?" Pingalaka said, "Because some terrible animal with a booming voice has come into our forest. His power must correspond to his voice, and there appears to be no use contending against him." Damanaka replied, "Good gracious, is my master frightened by a mere voice? Voices, noises, and words should frighten only cowards, and not strong men like your majesty. It will be highly improper if your majesty left this forest which was won by your ancestors and has been so long in the family. There is an old saying that one should not leave his dwelling till he finds a better one, or at least an equally good one. Besides, many kinds of sounds are heard and all are not dangerous. We hear the sound of thunder, we hear the storm raging, we hear the lutes and the drums beating and the noise made by banging doors and working machines. Yet none of these are things to be frightened about. If a king is brave, he need fear nothing. Humiliation or grief will never touch him, however fierce the foe. A brave person does not fear even the blows of providence. Summer dries up shallow pools and ponds, but the mighty Indus rises higher during summer. Don't be like the mean grass drooping low before the slightest blast and allowing itself to be brushed aside. Master, steel your heart and ignore this sound." Pingalaka, curious, asked, "What is the story?" Damanaka then shared the story of the jackal and the war drum and said, "Now you see the utter folly of going by sounds.